Anyone want to check on? No, she's just napping. Okay, fine. If she's fine, then I'm okay. It doesn't look like she was napping, but you know. Where was that other murder? Well, we can go. Oh, it was right here. Yeah, this was the spot. Or at least one of them we saw here. All right, well, let's go to the wasp's nest.
Don't forget that Bluto may still be hiding here.
Right,
I will try to find out more inside. You, Watson, must intercept the policeman on his rounds. Given the hour and a bit of luck, it will be Smith. Try to get some information from him.
Sounds good. Work in tandem.
Understood, Holmes.
Solve mysteries at light speed. Okay. So what can we find from in here? I guess we can talk to everyone and see what they know. Anything around here that we can grab? No, let's start off with our lovely barkeep. Definitely not Squiggy.
My good man.
Or Squibby.
Here, sir.
How's your week been going so far, LMCB?
Tell me, was it not a mere stone's throw away from here that the Whitechapel killer struck last week?
That'd be Jack the Ripper, that's his name. Slit the
I
throat of
mean,
a working girl in a small courtyard.
According to this
over there
game,
behind
that's
them
definitely
big
not
wooden
actually
doors.
his name.
Below the Workers' Club.
The very spot, below Lipsky and Co. I wouldn't be surprised if Jack was one of them, if you catch my drift.
All right. Well, what can you tell me about Lipsky?
Lipsky and Company. Do you mean to say that someone called Lipsky runs this club?
Nah, it's just that it's full of Jews. In Whitechapel,
Jewish
we
people.
call them all Lipskys, like that Lipsky who killed that
Say
girl
the
in
whole
Baker
word.
Street last year.
Oh, really?
Last
Okay.
year, a Jew named Israel Lipsky killed a lass who was 6 months pregnant by making her
what?
drink acid. One trial and one protest by rabbis later, and he was hanging. By those who don't much like him, the Jews are called Lipskys.
Oh,
Is
God.
the term Lipsky is used to refer to the Jews in the area?
That's terrible.
And is this club frequented by Jews?
You got it. Socialist Jews, even. They spend their evenings
Man, this
hollering,
barkeeper
singing.
sucks.
I've seen them spitting on the bosses.
Oh, for the crime of singing.
And do you know the victim?
Yeah, do you know anything about her?
Any other. The working girls don't drum up business too much in this street.
Okay.
They need a reason to end up here.
Okay. Well, see you later,
Very
asshole.
well. Goodbye.
Cheers.
All right, let's maybe have a chat with the
You're
server.
looking for some company, Gov. You've come to the wrong place. Me? I'm just here to pour.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
care
yeah,
who
okay.
you is, I knows nothing,
Maybe our
and I don't
journalist
care
friend
neither.
might know something.
Hello.
I know you. You're Squibby's guardian angel.
Yes, we are.
You weren't dressed the same last time, but I don't forget a face.
Okay, this guy doesn't really seem
in a
too
glass?
bitter about the whole thing. All right, well, let's talk about Jack the Ripper.
Your Jack the Ripper is on everyone's lips and written in all of the papers. You must be awfully proud of yourself. You have
Yeah,
skill,
because in
that's
this
for certain.
story, this
It's a
guy
shame
created
you
the
use it
persona of
much
Jack the Ripper.
rather
There
than
is a real
discover the
killer,
truth.
but
You better believe
Yeah.
I'm going to find out who it is. I got a hold of old Schwartz's interpreter. You know, the Hungarian who saw Liz Strike get it.
yes,
Doesn't speak a word of
okay.
English. And when he went round to the station, another Jew went along to interpret. I found that bloke, and he repeated everything that had been said at the station.
Okay.
It won't be long before I find these fellows.
What do you mean, many people?
Why do you say these
Yeah,
fellows?
seems like it's only one
Were there
person.
several of them?
Do you not read the papers or what? Well, given the rubbish that you read sometimes, let me explain. At 12:45 a.m., Schwartz goes down Burner Street towards Fairclough on the side
Okay.
of the road where the Workers' Club is. A bit further from there, just near Dutfield Yard's wooden doors, a chap and a lady are arguing. The Star said that the bloke wanted to push the girl into Dutfield's yard, but the translator told me that Schwartz saw him pulling her towards the road. She doesn't want to follow. He grabs her by the shoulders and throws her to the ground.
Okay.
She falls. Falls a bit, but not too loudly. Old Schwartz is scared, crosses to the other side.
This doesn't seem like a
Continues in the
Jack
same
the Ripper
direction.
case, then.
The bloke with the girl notices him and yells, "Lipsky!" At the same time, another bloke at the corner of Fairclough and Burner, who was lighting his pipe, gets in on the action. He starts coming towards Schwartz in a menacing way, and Schwartz takes to his heels, doesn't see anything else. Once he finds
Interesting.
out that a woman got herself killed, he went to testify and identified Longley's stride as the
Okay,
woman he saw
okay.
being thrown about. So there were definitely two blokes, mate. But why?
Yeah,
why
this
am I
doesn't sound like Jack the Ripper at
this?
all.
In vino veritas.
Yep,
I'll
he's
take my
telling
leave
us
then,
that
Mr.
sweet,
Bullock.
sweet wine
That's right.
truth.
Till next time.
Okay. Interesting.
First and foremost, I must find P.C. Smith.
All right. So we're on the hunt for Smith. Are you him?
Good evening, Constable.
Good evening, sir.
I am Dr. Watson. Would you happen to be P.C. Smith, the man who
Or you can at least tell us
patrols
where
this
he
beat?
patrols?
That's me.
Oh,
And
wow.
you work with the famous
That's
Sherlock
convenient.
Holmes, did you? What
Yes.
can I do for you?
What was the time of death?
I believe you were on duty the night when the murder took place here. You would certainly be able to confirm a few details, such as the time
I'm glad he
of death
recognizes
that the
us as
medical
Holmes'
examiner
bestie.
gave.
It's just that I wasn't there when the body was discovered. I did think I can
I
help
mean,
you.
you could maybe help us. Well, what do you know about the victim?
But I was told that you had seen the victim that very night.
Indeed. But it was before the murder.
Okay.
I saw her, not far from here. She was talking to a man. It was around 12:30 or 12:35.
So it can't have
a.m.
been before 12:30 or 12:35. What do you know about this man?
What did this man look like?
I only saw him from behind, really. He was wearing a short
Okay.
black outfit, a small felt hat, a cap in a dark colour, and a white collar. He seemed to be a respectable type. He was carrying a packet in his hand, wrapped in newspaper, about 18 inches long and about 6
Oh.
inches wide.
His
Enough to
outfit
conceal
reminds
a
me of
weapon.
someone that I know. Was he a large man, on the older side?
I don't think so, no. Even though I only saw him from behind, I would say that he was barely
Okay.
30 years old, or even less. Say 28.
Okay.
Or even less.
I mean, this is very helpful.
26 years old, and 5 foot 8 inches tall at the very most. He had a small dark brown moustache and an olive
Okay.
complexion, I would say. But once again, I only caught a brief glimpse of his face in 3/4 profile.
All right, fair enough. Did anyone else see him?
Nobody else saw this man?
I discussed this previously with Mr. Eagle, the president of the Workers' Club. That night he returned around 12:40 a.m. to the club. He used the passage through Dutfield's yard to get into the club because the main door was locked. He can attest that he didn't see anyone else in the passage at that time. But wasn't really paying attention to who else might have been in Berners Street
Yeah, the problem
itself.
is it doesn't seem like
He was listening
there's
to
anyone
the
really
song
keeping an
coming
eye
from
on
the club.
this.
In short, no one else saw him.
Well, thank
That's
you for having
very
satisfied
unfortunate,
my
but at least we have
curiosity, my
your
friend.
testimony.
A fine evening to you, Doctor.
All right, well, we found Smith right away. We don't have to patrol the streets too far. Oh, and now we're Holmes again. All right, are we swapping stories?
Well, Watson, let's go to Dutfield's yard.
Okay. That is not here, right? That is a different location? No. Dutfield's yard. Clinic. Cobbler shop. Pet shop. Yeah, where is Dutfield's yard?
Dutfield's yard.
Oh, right, okay. Just where the murder took place. Gotcha. Or where the body was
Your
discovered.
interrogation of P.C. Smith has proven to be very shrewd and of great interest.
Great, I'm glad
Thanks
we
to the
could
information I've
assist.
managed to gather, and that you were able to read in my notes in Baker Street, Watson, we can recreate what happened that fateful
Yeah,
night.
we
at this
should be able
location.
to.
Dutfield's yard, to be precise, the site of Liz Stride's murder.
Yes, we can. Okay. Oh, geez. Okay. Midnight, the club meeting, so we can set this at midnight.
Midnight, the
Perfect.
Socialist Club meeting ends. The members, mainly Jewish men, gradually begin to leave
Okay.
the club in little groups or alone.
Mm-hmm. 12:20.
12:20 a.m.
Uh-huh.
The American leaves the Socialists Club for some fresh air. The street is deserted.
No one's here yet. All right. 12:30 to 12:35. So this is when she sees Lizzie speaking with the man. 12:30 to 35.
12:30 to
Uh-huh.
12:35 a.m. Smith notices
So far,
Liz
so good.
Stride talking to the man with the package.
Okay, next is Mr. Eagle, the president of the Workers' Club, enters the club yard by the passage.
12:40 a.m.
Yeah.
Eagle, the president of the club, enters the Workers' Club via the passageway through Dutfield's yard.
Uh-huh.
He passed through Dutfield's yard. If Liz Stride had already been killed, he would have had to walk over her.
That's
The
true.
murder, therefore, had not yet happened.
Okay, so she has not been murdered up to this point. So 12:43, Schwartz passed by Dutfield's yard and witnessed the attack. So this is when this guy witnessed the attack.
12:43 a.m., Israel Swartz passes by Dudfield's yard and witnesses the attack on Liz Stride.
Okay, and this is at 44. 1 minute later, they yell a derogatory term at him, and he runs off, fairly thinking that maybe they're going to attack him.
12:44 a.m., Schwartz crosses to the other side of the road. The attacker sees him and yells, Lipsky. The attacker must have shouted to his accomplice at the end of the road, Lipsky, indicating at Schwartz using his head in an attempt to scare off this undesirable.
Oh, poor guy. All right, so 12:45, Schwartz flees, followed by a few feet by this man. Okay.
12:45 a.m., Schwartz runs away, followed for a short distance by this man.
And at 1 a.m., Mr. Daimschutz wants to enter with his cart pulled by a pony. Interesting. This is an odd piece,
1
but
a.m.,
okay.
Mr. Daimschutz wants to enter with his cart, but the pony refuses. We know that the murder took place between 12:45 and 1 a.m.
Yeah,
Mr. Daimschutz, therefore, must have disturbed the killer. Let's place Liz Stride's murder on the timeline, Watson.
Okay. So, like right here. So it had to take place in between here somewhere.
12:45 to 1 a.m., the murder of Liz Stride. It took place in this very
This
spot,
makes sense.
as the traces of blood were very confined. We will come back to this point in a few moments to elaborate on what could have happened.
All right, sounds
We
good.
are still missing certain information in order to finish this investigation, Watson.
And I guess we're going to get them from the scene, maybe? Perfect.
Watson, imagine the victim laid down there on the ground.
Okay, so using the power of imagination.
Her right hand, it is bloody, as is her wrist.
This is very odd. This is very unlike the other murders. Okay.
Her left hand, it is closed around a bag of pastils.
Okay. Anything with the blood? No. Anything with the
throat,
face?
there is but one clean cut, slightly slanted downwards.
Yeah, not.
The ground is muddy.
This is, again, some distinctions from
Her knees and dress, they are clean.
the other crimes. Is there anything else around here that we can investigate? What about this?
This door leads to the club for Jewish socialist workers.
All right. And is there anything up here that we need to see? No. No, nothing here. Okay, let's start doing some deduction. All right, so the knees and the bottom of the dress at the front are clean. The ground is dirty. So that means she was killed on her back, right? The victim was careful. The victim didn't struggle on the ground. The victim struggled on the ground. I'm going to say didn't struggle on the ground. The victim was killed lying down. Yeah. The victim was maybe killed upright. Elstride had her back to the killer. Elstride and her murderer were lying down at the moment of the mortal blow. Stride and her murderer were standing at the moment of her mortal blow. I think this is correct. The wound to the neck is clean, starting from the right and slightly oblique and descending. The blow is given to the middle of the neck. The blow is given with the right hand. That is, I think, correct. There is only one wound and it proved to be mortal. Victim had her neck wrung. There was but one superficial wound to the neck. The murderer struck the blow from below, from above. It looks like above, because it's going clean, starting from the right and slightly oblique and descending. So it's above. Or maybe his height. Let's try above first. Elstride's killer is taller than the victim, is shorter, or is approximately the same height. I'm going to say approximately the same height, or maybe not. Above and taller, maybe? Or shorter? This one's tough. I'm not quite sure on that yet. All right. What is this conclusion here? Right-handed. Definitely right-handed. So that's consistent with the other murders, but the rest of this crime does not seem to match. All right, what is this? The murderer is strong, weak, is a lumberjack. I'm going to say strong. is a strong man. Yeah. So this does match, but it's not quite consistent. Bloody right hand and wrist. The carotid wasn't slit. The victim was bleeding from the nose. The victim had her hand cut. The victim put her hand on her throat. That is definitely true, which makes it weird because normally they're suffocated first. The other ones, they're all suffocated. There are thumbprints, like bruises on all of their faces. The knife blade used in Elstride's murder was thin. The murder weapon we used against Elstride was Mezzaluna. The knife blade used in Elstride was thick. So I'm going to say thin. Yeah. Okay, so that's definitely not like our other murder weapon. So this doesn't seem correct. So this is the tough part. Okay. They're clean. The ground is dirty. The victim didn't struggle on the ground. The victim didn't struggle on the ground, I think is right. The victim was killed upright. Yeah, I think her throat was slashed when she was standing. But maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, it seems upright. Elstride and her murder were standing at the moment of the mortal blow. Yeah, I mean, this seems right, so then... Yeah, I don't know. What is this? The murderer struck the blow from his height? Below or above? I don't know. Above seems to make sense given the angle of the slice. Yeah, they definitely didn't struggle on the ground. That I am definitely sure of. They're definitely killed upright. And they were definitely standing. This I am very sure of. This pathway here I am very sure of. This, though, Yeah, there is only one wound and it proved to be mortal. That is true. Like, what's next? The murderer struck... Yeah, it's got to be above. So then, is this just... We just need to pick the right one? I mean, they seem like they're approximately the same height. So what's wrong here? Given, like, the way that it was attacked, like, she was sliced, like, in the like, facing her killer, slightly above to below. So it seems like they just, you know, struck down at her. Yeah, they were definitely standing. Didn't struggle on the ground. Yeah, there was definitely only one wound. Yeah, that's right. So that definitely has to be there. Oh, it was from his height. Oh, that makes sense now. Okay. Okay, there we go.
Seen by Schwartz were one and the same man. The second is that Liz Stride meets a client. After some discussion, they head towards Dutfield's yard to do their business. As soon as they arrive, the attacker appears while his accomplice keeps watch. Schwartz's arrival dissuades the two men from lingering.
Yeah, I don't know. This doesn't feel right.
Stride in a tense state, but
this is so unlike the other murders.
He will be her murderer. Both hypotheses are possible, but an incongruous detail will serve to corroborate one of them. An incongruous detail that we were able to establish regarding the Hanbury Street murder. Which one would that be, Watson?
Incongruous detail.
Watson, and tell me the link between the murder of Liz Stride and those of Nichols and Chapman.
Oh, now we're... I mean, is it these?
The bag of pastels, Holmes.
Yeah.
The bag of pastels. Indeed, Watson. If this woman had to defend herself against
it's very strange.
Attacker, why would she have held onto this bag?
Like she knew the attacker.
It didn't fall because this woman's hand tensed at the moment when she fell to the ground. Therefore, Watson, we know the killer distracted his victim's attention by making them take something out of their pockets. Why didn't he slit her throat like the others?
Right,
He must have feared a struggle with this strong-willed woman. Why didn't he eviscerate her? Because Louis Diemschutz arrived.
Okay.
Do you think the Whitechapel killer is
No,
behind
no,
this
this
murder,
one does
Holmes?
not seem a Whitechapel
Yes,
killer.
and now
What?
this murder
Really?
has been linked to its rightful perpetrator. It will take on deeper
Huh.
meaning when we have examined the facts from that night. Let's
So
go to
did
Mitre
did
Square,
the Whitechapel
where
killer
Catherine
panic
Eddowes was
because
killed.
someone showed up?
And make haste, Watson, as we have another murder to commit in 40 minutes.
Interesting. Okay.
Here we are, Watson, Mitre Square. It took us a mere 20 minutes to get here. If the killer left Dutfield's yard around 1 o'clock, as we assume, he would have arrived here at around 1:20 a.m.
Yeah, that's just math.
We know that Catherine Eddowes' body was discovered at 1:44 a.m.
So the murder had to
Catherine
take place
was released
between
from prison around
1:20 and
1:00, but
1:44.
We have no information as to what she could have been doing until her
Right.
death.
So we don't know when
This
she
place
got
has
here.
3 possible ways out. Let's see where they lead.
Okay. Sounds good.
As a precaution, I brought an old map of the area with me. It will help us get our
Oh,
bearings.
very
Let's
nice.
hurry, Holmes. This neighborhood makes me
Aw,
ill at
chill
ease.
out, Watson. Come on. All right. So we have a scene over here.
Watson, we are now in the exact
Yes.
spot where poor Eddowes tragically ended her days.
So it seems
This
like the
spot
other
is very
murder.
dark,
Oh, I
Holmes.
wonder.
That is probably why our murderer chose it.
Yeah.
Let's see. We'll need a lantern.
Okay, we'll need a lantern. I wonder if the reason why he committed 2 murders is because the first one was interrupted and he didn't get to commit the murder in his typical MO that he likes. All right, so there's a way over
This dark
here.
and narrow passage leads to St. James's Place.
Can we go there?
I have no reason to go that way.
All right, then. Fair enough. Thanks for waiting for me, Watson. All right, so we need a lantern.
Church Passage. It must be opposite the Imperial Club at 16 to 17 Duke Street. Let's go to the end of this lane, Watson.
All right, sounds good. God, it's so dark. I mean, this is the gloomy London I was asking for, right? Oh, and who might you be?
Hello, you must be Abraham Solomonovich, am I right?
Yes, that's me. But I know you.
Oh,
You
yes,
brought a lad
yes.
to my place to take care of a cat, and I loaned you my mask.
That's me. May I present?
Man, everyone
Dr.
sees through his
Watson, of
disguise.
course. Delighted. And you...
Holmes is not as
I
clever
have
as he
known
thinks.
for a few days that you are a detective
Yeah.
by the name of Sherlock Holmes. Is
Yeah,
that
it seems like
so?
everyone is putting this
You
together.
don't miss a thing, do you? It was the children who gave me away. Am I right?
They didn't want to, but I gained their confidence by offering them a small comb
That'll do it.
half a cake.
They made a good deal out of it, so I don't blame them.
Hell yeah, they
I must
did.
request, as a personal favor, that you do not reveal my identity.
I mean,
You have my
I feel like
word.
everyone knows your identity at this point. Come on, man.
Curiosity is just killing me, as you may have guessed. Would it be breaking an oath to confide in me the nature of the investigation that you
Ah,
are
we can
leading?
tell you. You seem like you are one to keep discreet the information that
Does
you're
this
holding.
spot where we are now in Mitre Square mean anything to you?
A demon lives in this city, Mr. Holmes. These unmentionable
He knows what's going
acts
on.
degrade the human race and put the Jewish community in terrible danger.
That's why we're trying to help.
Lots of rumors are circulating, but they are but rumors. I see you're leaving the Imperial Club. It's a stone's throw away from Mitre Square, and the 2 recent murders were most probably discussed in there. Do you know if anyone from the club saw or heard anything that night?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. That
Ah.
night, 3 members of our
This is
club
important info,
saw
okay.
a woman talking to a man at the very spot where we are standing.
Do you know anything about the
A few
man?
minutes before the body was found at the end of this passage.
Fantastic, Holmes.
Perfect.
Calm
Okay.
yourself, Watson. There is nothing at the moment to suggest it was the victim.
Yes, that's
Can we
true.
meet these members?
I am afraid that won't be possible. As soon as the police heard the evidence of these men, they were sworn
Oh,
to
God damn it.
silence.
I understand.
But you are working for the good, and I must
Okay.
tell you what I know. One of the
Oh, so
3
we're getting, like,
men,
another
our
timeline
friend
here.
Joseph left that night with 2 other members of the Imperial Club, Harry and another Joseph. It was around 1:35
Mm-hmm. Okay.
a.m., perhaps a bit earlier, when Joseph, not my friend, but the other, the
Mm-hmm.
Aldgate butcher, exited. He saw a man and a woman in discussion at this very spot where we are.
These men must
Oh
have been
yeah,
about
I mean this
16
this
feet
game
away
is
from
like kind of like the last
That's
of the
about
old
right.
style Sherlock games. So the
Joseph,
jump that they make
the
to the next
butcher,
one is
said
so
to the other
big.
two, while pointing at the couple, "Look, I don't like going home alone when I see this kind of people here." My friend Joseph looked at them without noticing anything strange and didn't understand what he meant.
Okay.
They had the look of two rather unkempt people,
Okay.
but no more than that.
All right. Well, what can you tell us more about the testimonies?
After the murder, did these three men tell the police what they had seen?
Not quite. Harry stated that he hadn't seen the couple.
Okay.
As for Joseph, the
I don't
butcher,
blame them
even
for not
though he was the one who commented
jumping
on them
to testify.
pointed them out, said that he couldn't remember anything except that the man was about 3 inches taller than the woman,
Okay.
who was 5 feet tall, no more.
Oh wow.
My friend
So
Joseph, on
this
the
guy
other
was
hand,
pretty short.
did his best to cooperate with the
Actually, I don't know.
police.
Like for the time period that this game took place, like was a 5'3" like average height in England? I have no idea. I mean that's pretty short, but
And
you never
what did
know.
your friend Joseph say? What did this man and woman look like?
The man must have been 30 years old, about 5 foot
Okay.
7 inches, light complexion, and a fair moustache.
Okay.
He wore a loose, dark jacket, a grey cap, and a
This
red
is all good
scarf
information.
around his neck. But he said that he only saw him for a brief instant, and it would be impossible to recognize him.
And the woman?
He only saw her from behind.
Again, this is
She had her hand
frustrating
on the man's
because-
stomach and seemed to be pushing him. He said that
I mean,
he remembered
similar
that she
clothing,
was small,
but
was wearing a
the
black
tough part being that
jacket
it
and
doesn't
a black
help us
pocket.
identify if that was exactly
After
who we
his
were looking
testimony,
for.
the police took him to see the clothing of the deceased, and Joseph said that they looked identical
Okay,
to those
so-
of the woman he had seen.
But
Like
he didn't
I
see her
already
face, he
said,
just saw her
He
clothes.
only glanced at the two as
Yeah.
he was headed with the others in the direction of Aldgate.
Imperfect testimony,
One
unfortunately.
final question. The Imperial Club is a Jewish club, isn't that correct?
Indeed.
Thank you for your help, Mr. Solomonovich.
Okay.
It was nothing. We must at all cost prevent this demon from striking
Yeah,
again.
this guy gets it.
And the police seem to have some difficulty
Him and
in
his
doing that.
cousin? I think cousin
I wish
have
you
been
the
extremely
best
helpful.
Of luck, Mr. Holmes.
All right. Yeah, lots of imperfect knowledge. All right, so what do we get from here? This is just
I have
the
no reason to go that
Yeah.
way.
no, just the site of the Imperial Club.
Closed.
Anything over this way? No, it doesn't look like it. That's just
This building is the Great Synagogue of London.
apparently with really neat typed signage. What do we got here?
The Imperial Club.
Okay, cool. It seemed like a cool bunch. All right. Guess we're going back through that. We still need a lantern so we can investigate the crime scene. Now, I'm actually having a tough time remembering which of these Sherlock Holmes games come next. Ah, just the lantern we were looking for. I'm assuming. Can we? Oh, do we have to light
Take
this?
the lantern, Watson.
All right. Now we can investigate the crime, right? Can we? Yeah, there we go. Come on over here. Oh God. Okay, this was pretty grisly.
Do these objects spread out by the victim remind us of anything, Watson?
Definitely similar to the other crimes. The items belong to the victim. That definitely seems correct. The murderer searched her. Okay, so that is correct. All right, and we have the items, the victims are very orderly placed. That we do know, so let's go back and look at this more.
The main incision goes from the sternum all the way down to the groin. The murderer opened this abdomen as if it were an animal carcass.
So this is more
Kidney
similar
was
to the other
removed.
ones.
The
Yes.
uterus was removed.
Okay, so this definitely seems like one of
A
the
thimble is located
Whitechapel
right beside
murder
one of the
case.
victim's hands, just like Chapman's sachet of pills and Stride's pastils.
Okay.
The head is turned towards the left. The murderer must have been on the right side of his victim. Let's look at her from the front.
Okay. Oh, Jesus. I didn't realize that she also lost the nose.
The nose was cut.
Yep.
The cheeks were slashed to make them thinner.
Oh,
The cheeks were slashed to make them
this
thinner.
is a
There is
real
but one
horror
wound,
show.
Watson. It goes from the left side and descends in a slight oblique towards the right side. The eyelids were cut off.
Jesus Christ. It seems that our murder is escalating very quickly. Oh, great. All right, so the central incision goes from the... All right, so the wound to the neck goes from the right and slightly oblique and descending. Ugh. This is horrifying. The blow was fierce and instantaneous. The murderer wanted to decapitate I mean, these are not mutually exclusive. Instantaneous or fierce and instantaneous. The murderer is a bit shorter than the victim. The wound is superficial. The wound is the same as that of Elstride. The murderer is ambidextrous. Definitely right-handed if we're going by the other. Okay, so that... Oh, interesting. It actually confirmed it within the web instead of waiting for over here. Died the same way as Liz Stride. No, definitely died the same way as Liz Stride. An accomplice of Elstride's murderer killed Cietos. No. Maybe one and the same. Okay, so these are the same murderer. And they seem to be the same Whitechapel killer. Okay. Definitely seems like more of an animal. Okay, so what are we missing then? We still don't have all of... Oh, geez, okay. There's a lot more going on here. Will you go down? There we go. These just automatically place, so just a matter of getting them to go there. Okay, so we have a whole bunch more going to these two conclusions. Okay, a thimble is found right beside the victim's hand. The murderer lost the victim? No. She held it in her hand. Got it. Okay. So it seems like... Oh, yeah, this is the connecting thing. The Whitechapel killer asked them to take something out of their pockets, it seems like. Cieto's liver and lungs underwent small incisions. Kidney and uterus were removed. Nose was cut. Cheeks were slashed to become thinner, and eyelids were cut. Oh, God. New anatomy. Did not know anatomy. I think it's new anatomy. Yeah, okay. So they know anatomy, and it seems like we're missing something here because this doesn't connect to anything. Okay. So let's go back here. There's something that we haven't seen yet.
The inside of the thighs is clean. Once again, there were no sexual relations between the victim and her murderer.
Okay.
These intestines were pulled out altogether.
Yeah, like literally pulled out. Oh, okay. Anything else?
Part of this apron is missing. We'll follow up on that shortly.
Right, yes. That was from the case
goodness,
note.
Holmes, it was a slaughter.
The piece of the apron was found elsewhere.
Our killer had neither the time nor the conditions to bother with the niceties. He had no more than 7 or 8 minutes at most to kill the woman, open her up, and all the while in total darkness.
The brutality of it.
Holmes, it's a woman, a poor victim.
Yeah, have a little empathy.
Consider all the time this man lost and the risks that he actually took by cutting the victim's face and the lower abdomen in around 20 precise spots, especially the lungs and the liver. These attacks,
this all seems incredibly intentional. Like it seems like his MO is evolving.
And have as much sense as the removal of the organs. We must, first and foremost, locate the 3 exits leading to Mitre Square, Watson.
Right. Okay. So before we do that, let's go back to deductions. We still have this here. And white apron was cut. The item at the victim's feet are very orderly. The killer likes order. They are unfeeling and organized. Okay. So I think that's all of the deductions for this. So we need to find the other exits. What's over here? What is this?
This dark and narrow passage leads to St. James's Place.
Okay, but we already went through there. All right, so we investigated down that way. Now we need to check out over here, right?
This is Mitre Street, from where Watkins, the constable who found the body, came. Watson, we must now consult our timeline. We began in Dutfield's yard, but this time we will try to recreate the actions of certain people.
Okay. All right.
In this case, those are the
We're
two
doing a new
policemen.
timeline.
I have no reason to go that way.
All right, so are we going to the timeline here? So PC Watkins enters Mitre Square at 1:30.
1:30 a.m. PC Watkins didn't see the corpse while on his rounds. If PC Watkins did his rounds properly, and there is no reason to doubt this was the case, as he discovered the corpse a quarter of an hour later, the murder hadn't yet taken place.
So it takes place
and there was no one in Mitre Square.
a little bit after
hidden among
1:30.
the shadows. Enter Mitre Square via Mitre Street, Watson, and stop and try to see me with the lantern. I will be where poor Edow's corpse was.
Okay, so are we going to play as Watson then? Okay. So Holmes is around the corner here, right? So do we need the lantern out? Yeah.
I see you, Holmes.
Perfect.
So we have to actually go around
Let's
the
look at
corner
our
to see him.
timeline, Watson.
Okay. All right, so going back to that, the murder hadn't yet taken place at 1:30. So do we add that here?
Very good, Watson.
Okay.
Thus we can categorically state that the murder had not yet occurred at 1:30.
So he came through, no one was even there yet. So at 1:35, a man and a woman are in discussion at the entrance of Church Passage. So only 5 minutes later. Let's add you up here.
1:35
Perfect.
a.m. A man and a woman are arguing at the entrance of Church Passage. The man came from Aldgate.
So it must have been just after 1:35 then. So 1:42, he re-enters the square.
1:42 a.m. PC Harvey arrives in Mitre Square. It should be noted, Watson, that the constable didn't enter Mitre Square. He could not have seen the corpse lying on the ground.
That's
But
true.
would he have been able to see a man sitting or standing? Go to the Church Passage entrance, then come back and try to see me while holding your lantern. I will stay at the spot where the victim was discovered.
This is some good investigation work. I like this. Okay, so we need to over here, right? It's kind of hard to tell.
I see you, Holmes.
Yeah, I tell you, he has to actually come into the square.
The square in order to see me.
Yeah, we actually have to come in
Something
here.
Harvey didn't do. It is possible.
Yeah,
that the
it is
killer was
very
still
likely
there.
that the killer was
1:42
here.
a.m. PC Harvey arrives at Mitre Square, but does not go
Yeah.
in. The murderer may well have still been
He may
there.
have been in the process of murdering. Okay, so 1:44, the body is discovered. So that it's exactly that. The murder was taking place, and he didn't see it. Oh man, that's rough. All right, we'll put you right here.
1:44 a.m. The body is discovered. Let's put the murder of poor Eddowes on the timeline, Watson.
So it has to be sometime between, where is it? Yeah, sometime right between here. So right between 1:36, right here, right? Or is it 1:35?
1:35
Yeah.
and 1:42
So right, yeah,
a.m.
gotcha.
The murder would appear to have taken place between these times. That is to say, within 7 minutes.
Agreed, Holmes. But does this really prove that our killer had the time to perpetrate these two murders?
Let's look at our
Yeah,
timeline,
pretty
Watson.
definitively. Yeah. Yeah, right here. There's enough time here. Plenty of
There,
it.
Watson.
Fact.
We are now certain that the
Yeah,
murderer
you know,
really had
10
the
minutes
time
to
commit
spare.
These two murders.
Or 15
Incredible.
minutes before he
This
met the
spot
woman.
is making me nauseous. Can we not head back, Holmes?
We
Yeah.
certainly can't, Watson.
Oh,
We have
come
one
on.
final point to address. Do you remember the piece of white apron that was
Oh,
missing just
right.
now?
Yes.
It was found just a few steps away from here, at the entrance of a building. That's where we must go.
Okay.